Welcome back, my favorite Python programmers, to a brand new video. And in this one, what we're going to do is we are going to be learning how to code Python using the very nice game which is called The Farmer Was Replaced. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it. I'm going to take you through. I already have about 5 hours in this. I just wanted to test things out, see if this game is worth using to learn, and I found it honestly very fascinating. So I'm going to be making a series here on YouTube that covers several topics, like every single thing that we unlock, every single new aspect, and we're going to try to get to the end of it and see how much we can learn. And as I was about to record this video, I noticed that they were just making an update. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to create a new game. I'm going to call it Learning Python YouTube, and I'm going to click on this and start. All right, so I already, as I told you, I've played about twice, and in total it was 5 hours, and I stopped because I wanted to go through this with you as if we're just getting started. So literally getting started. This window contains information about everything in the game. You can move windows around by dragging and dropping the gray part of the window, as you can see. So you can even make the windows smaller or bigger. All right, so you can move around by dragging anywhere outside the window. To get started with the program, go to the first program on the page. So you can click on the page. First program, let's make this a bit bigger. So the text editor, all programming is done in code windows. Each code window corresponds to a text. You can rename the file by clicking on its name. Okay, the code can be edited like in any text editor, and you can execute that directly by pressing the green play button on the code. You can create a new window by hitting the plus. So right here at the top, I guess we have the plus, we have an I, and we have the unlocks. We'll check what the unlocks are. So code is sequence of statements that are executed line by line. Currently the only statement is harvest and do a flip. These are function calls. You can think of a function as a command that can be executed. You execute it by the parenthesis. Anyway, harvest. There we go. And we can also use the autocomplete. So we have these IntelliSense suggestions. Harvest. Don't forget to add the parentheses. We hit play and we get a harvest. Let's see if you can hear this. Oh, I've actually, I remembered. I turned the audio off. So let's go. Let's put it to 1. All right. I think you can clearly hear that. Now, if it gets annoying, I'm going to probably remove it at some point as I'm editing the videos. Unlocks. This is very important. Collecting grass will give you hay. Hay can be used to unlock loops. And in the unlock menu, open the unlock menu. Let's look at the unlock menu. So as you can see right here, we have a massive tree, and I barely got to this right here, this level right here. Maybe I also opened pumpkins, but that was it. So it's going to be all fresh with you guys. So right here I have loops. Let's unlock loops. Loops are going to be very handy to us because instead of me having to click this harvest several times, I'll just be able to create a while loop. Before we do it, let's create a flip right here. So do a flip. So, I mean, our drone just does. And I was showing this to some of my younger students and they were like, this piggy is so cute. I don't know what the appeal is. Maybe you can tell me. I don't know. I mean, it does look kind of cute. Anyway, let's get back. And in this guy has a nice hat. I think this is made in Unity, if I'm not mistaken. It feels like Unity vibes. If you don't know what Unity is, it's a game development engine. But anyway, while loops. Let's look at while loops. So you have unlocked while loops and the value true and false. All right. So the while loop keeps executing the loop as long as the condition is true. So while loop, this is something that we teach a bit later on down the line, but it's okay. They have their own way of creating this because they want you to have tools that will allow you to progress faster. But anyway, so we have the while syntax. How do I zoom in? the while syntax, and then the condition, and then the loop body, which is the code that will be executed at every iteration. Don't worry about creating infinite loops. The delays in the execution will prevent the program from freezing. Perfect. For beginners, perhaps you have already tried to put several harvests in a row. We did not do that. This allows you to harvest several times in one program run. However, it would be nice to harvest more than 3 times, and writing the same code multiple times is bad practice. That is true. A loop allows you to run the same condition many times. Yada yada yada. I'm not going to... if you want, you can pause at any point, read everything very carefully if you think that I did something wrong. Normally creating an infinite loop is a bad idea because it freezes the program, but in our case, it's not going to freeze our program. What I want to do is I want to create a while loop here. So I'll create a while and then say true, because I want this to keep going on forever, and I'm going to harvest forever. Let's see what happens. So when I hit, perfect, there we go. Let me just, I think that is gonna be annoying for you as well. But anyway, so as I am harvesting, let's see, it is harvesting. So now I have, as you can see at the top right, I have hey, 43, 46, 47, 48, etc. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the unlocks and let's see, grass, I need 300 of these, and speed. Let's unlock speed. The execution. I'm sorry, guys. No freaking way am I gonna hear that. Ting, 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 ting. The whole time. So, let's see, the execution speed upgrade. The execution speed has been doubled. Okay, perfect. But now, if you notice how it's taking the grass, but it's not actually, or at least it's trying to harvest the grass, but it's not working. So yeah, that's not good. And I think checking before harvesting, so far we only had true and false as conditions, which is of course not very useful with if. Have we unlocked ifs? I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, right here, the execution speed. And the problem is that the drone now harvests faster than the grass can grow, resulting in no harvest at all. To deal with this, if branches and the can harvest function. Okay, so let's look at the if. So if conditions are very important. They allow you to execute code only under certain conditions. So you can use if, elif, and else to run code conditionally. If condition, do a flip. Elif condition, harvest. Else, do a flip, harvest. Syntax: if allows you to run code only if some condition is true. They are like a while loop that doesn't loop. If takes condition just like the while loop, execute code block. Okay, you can read through these at your own heart's content. I'm going to scroll so you can pause if you need any, and I highly recommend that you play this game on your own. But anyway, so what we need to do in here is we don't want to keep harvesting all the time. I'm going to stop this because we're not harvesting anything anyway. So instead of just harvesting, I'm going to say while true, because I want to keep this as an infinite loop. Now again, people might have different opinions, but I think, well, I've actually tested a few things out, and it's better to have this run continuously, and then inside we can say if can harvest, right? Then I will harvest, and that's it. So let's see what happens in this case. So while true means that it will keep on going forever, and if we can harvest, then we will harvest. Some of you might be thinking, while can harvest, but the problem with that, and I'll show you. So there we go. Very nice. So it's waiting for the the wheat to come up, the grass to come up, or whatever it's called. So I want to add another function right here, or another file. I'm not sure. I think these are files. And I will set the can harvest instead of the true, right? Now, what I think the problem is gonna be is that it's gonna say while can harvest the first time, it will be able to harvest, it will take out the grain, the wheat, but then it will end the file because we will exit out of the while, because it will repeat very quickly. So it will harvest as the grass is coming up, the can harvest will be false, and it will not work. There we go. There we go. And that is why I prefer to have the if statement inside. So I'm going to remove this, permanently delete. Yes, so this is clearly the better way. So let's set it to run. And what I will also do is, maybe I'll add an else just for fun. So an else, so in case we cannot harvest, and this did not, there we go. Whenever you're working with Python, the indentations are very, very important. I don't know, I'm not sure if it's gonna be very important in these files, but in general, it's better to be, to have very good indentations. Indentations are accounted for. So in the else, I'm going to do a flip, and while I'm doing the flip, the grass will grow. Whoop, there we go. But it's much slower, as you can see. So you know what? Let's get rid of the flip. Yeah, without any flips. Okay. Grass upgrade, we need 300. All right, so this increases the yield of grass. Speed upgrade, we need this wood. Okay, so we can expand, perfect. And we can unlock planting. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I am 100% sure that expanding is gonna be very significant. Perfect. As you can see, we have this, we have 2 more squares to harvest from. So let's read a little bit. So your farm has grown. The space is not much use if you can't move the drone. So there is a new function, which is the move, that can move the drone. Okay. Well, by the way, I'm not making fun. Whenever you're making a function, it's very important that this function name reflects, later on we will unlock functions of our own. I think somewhere around here. Functions unlocked, there we go. Define your own functions. So whenever you're defining your own functions, it's very important that you name them based on what these functions are going to do. You never want to just have a random function name or random variable name as well. These are very important Python and coding principles in general. Requires that you specify the direction in which you want the drone to move. There are 4 new constants for this: north, east, south, and west. For example, move north will move the drone 1 square to the north. If you move over the edge of the farm, the drone will move to the other side of the farm. Okay, so if we get to north, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if can harvest, and then I'm going to say right here, move north, right? So now we're going to do this forever. That's why we have the while true. And if can harvest, we will harvest and then we will move north, and then we will go back through the loop. So this is what it looks. And once we get to the top and we move north again, then we will start coming down. And there we go. Now we're collecting a lot faster, and I think we can increase the speed. Oh no, we want to plant. Now the next upgrade will require us to have the whatever this is called, the wood. So let me unlock the plant. All right. So plants. We're getting good speed right here. So grass. Oh, grass. I apologize. Grass or wood. Anyway, grass is nice because it grows automatically. Perfect. All other plants have to be planted. All right. So far we've only been harvesting whatever is coming up on its own. So this is the grass that gives us hay, apparently. Okay. I don't know what the difference is. I'm not a farmer, but yeah. The only plant you can plant right now is a bush. You can pass the type of plant you want in the plant entities.bush. This will plant a bush under the drone. Call the clear to reset the farm to all grass and reset the drone position. It seems that if you grow more than one type of plant on the farm at the same time, you can sometimes get a higher yield. Okay, you'll need to research polyculture to learn more. Polyculture. Is this something right here? Polyculture. Use companion planting to increase yields. Okay, very nice. Before I do that, debugging. Okay. Oh, look at what we've... because this is like a tree, so when you unlock this, now we've unlocked carrots. Okay, we'll see what that is. To expand, we'll need, first thing I want to do is I want to expand, because I feel once we expand our, the more squares we have for planting, the better it's gonna be for us. So in here, let's first of all start planting. I'm going to go back to the farm and I'm going to stop this drone. It's done. And you know what I want to do? Because this is something I've already done. I want to create a file that will, let's just call it the hay or farm hay. And I'll just copy this, paste it right here. Maybe this, it's too soon for this right now. In the main, I'll just have the clear, so that I can just hit clear and everything will go away. And I'm going to start farming, or farm, I don't know, or cultivate, I don't know, farm wood. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the code from here. And how will I, okay, let me put this farm wood right here. Okay, so move away the clear, put the farm. Okay, so we need to plant. So we check if we can harvest, and once we've harvested, I think inside we will just plant the entities dot bush or grass. We can plant grass, but we don't really need, we need to plant the bush, farm wood. So now, while true, which means forever, if we can harvest, we'll harvest and plant the entity.bush and then move north. North. So, excellent. Okay. So we keep as soon as it finds. Okay, look at that. So, perfect. We are getting wood obtained from the bushes and trees. So we are going to have trees. Yep, there we go. It's right here. So I'm waiting to get 20 on this, and this, we are going to be expanding the farm as soon as possible, because now we're going to have a 2-dimensional farm, which will allow us. And one thing I am thinking of, like, the question is, should we be moving north whenever we cannot harvest? So my question is, should we only move north if we can harvest? I don't know. But I think this is a good system right now. It's efficient, because since we're not using up any fuel, right, on this drone, if we were using up any fuel, we would probably not want to move. That would be a good mechanic to add. But anyway, I was thinking, like, should we start optimizing as soon as possible? But on the other hand, like, we don't really need to optimize right now. I think once we have like a bigger farm, more options, we will start working on algorithms to make, but we'll keep it as simple as possible. So as you can see, if we can harvest, we will harvest, plan the entities, and so on and so forth. With regards to the last 3 sentences, I don't think this is something that we'll need to worry about right now. But anyway, let's unlock. I also want to upgrade. Actually, I can do both. So upgrade the speed. Okay, the next upgrade will require us to have 50 wood and 30 carrots. I can upgrade the yield of grass. I don't need that right now. Let me expand. All right, there we go. Look at our farm. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger, and our drone is much faster. I love this. I love this. This game is very satisfying. So, expand 2. Your farm has expanded again. Now the titles are no longer... What? The titles? The tiles are no longer in a nice row. So you need to... Let me just stop this guy. And we have this clear, which just clears. No longer in a nice row, so you need to find a way to traverse a square grid. With the while loop, this is not possible until you unlock senses and operators. Okay. It's time to introduce the for loop. You can read all about the for loop in the for loops. I do recommend that you go through this. I'm just going to take you through it very quickly. So when we were working with the while loop, we were always repeating based on a certain condition. So while true, which means it will go on forever, because while the condition is true, we will go on forever. Sometimes we can, as you saw, while can harvest, we only went through it when we could harvest. When we couldn't, we just jumped out of the condition. So now with a for loop, we can specify how many times we want to go through it. So for I in a sequence, and we'll talk more about sequences later on. Similar to the while loop, the for loop also repeatedly calls a block of code. Instead of looping based on a condition, it executes the loop body once for each element in a sequence. So for a variable name can be any name you choose. So this is actually called a temporary variable because you can use it outside of the for loop, but it's never recommended to do so. Like I always tell students you can do it, but you should not do it. Now let's talk about sequences. So sequences are like, which I think we will get to later on. Let me see, like, yes, we will get to lists, which are sequences. Dictionaries are iterables, not really sequences. But yeah, we will go through sequences later on. But for now, the most important sequence that we want to know about is the range. So for I in range of 5, we harvest. This loop executes the body a fixed number of times. It is essentially the same as writing I equals 0, harvest, I equals 1, harvest. Let me show you what that looks like. I don't know if we can print out. So for I in range of 5. So something that's very important in Python is that, or a rule that you can always take with you to the bank, is that it's always up to, but not including. So I'm going to say for I in range of 5, can I print? I don't think that's possible. Yeah, no. Unlock, oh, I need to unlock the debug. So let me see, can I unlock this? I don't have enough. Basically what will happen is I is gonna start at 0 and go up to, but not including 5. So right here, as you can see, I0, I1, I2, I3, I4. We can also use the break and continue. We'll get to that. Where did we go? Okay, this is the list of everything. Where is it? First program, get another break, comment, continue, expand 2. Okay, there we go. So now we can move to the right. So what I want to do is I want to take all of these 3, then these, then these. So this is not going to be useful anymore. Just moving north is not going to be enough. We are going to start moving left and right. And how many times, how can we know the range that we need to go? That is going to be using the get world size. So we can do something like this. Let's see. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff here. So your farm, do flip, range of 5. Okay, so range n creates a range of numbers 0 to n-1, which has n elements in it. The for loop runs its loopy body once for every element in the sequence. In this example, do flip will be called 5 times. The function get world size is also available now. It returns the side length of your farm. Okay, side length. So our farm is always square. The get world size is now available. Is also available now. It returns the side length of your farm. This way you can write that breaks with the next expand. Won't break with the next expand. Okay. So for I in range, get world size, harvest, move north. Let's try it. Let's try this. I'm going to say for I in range, get world size, and remember you have the parentheses for this get world size function, and you have the parentheses for the range on the outside. So the get world size right now should be 3, which means that we are going to say, or I is going to take on the values of 0, 1, and 2, right? Because remember, ranges are up to but not including. So we're going to go through 3 times. So I'm going to hit harvest. Oh, actually, I'm going to check if I can harvest. And then I'm going to harvest. And then I'm going to, okay, boom. I keep clicking Shift Tab because it removes the indentation, but it opens up the friends list on. Anyway, move north. All right, so now, boom, 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 boom. Okay, I forgot that this is the wood. If can harvest, plant entities dot bush. let's go. Perfect. So this example harvests any farm. Okay. Now the next step I want to do is, once I go through this loop, which means I go up, 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 if I can harvest, I then, once I go out, I want to move east? Yeah, east. Let's see what happens in this case. This is just the clear. Okay. Clear, boom, 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 boom. Perfect, there we go. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So as you can see, now we are getting a lot of things. The only thing I'm worried about is I want to see if I should have the plant entity outside. No, I think the plant entity should be inside of the if. So we harvest and then we plant. I'm just seeing this hay coming up. I'm not sure if this is good, or maybe as soon as we harvest, it's immediately coming up. But anyway, let's get back right here. Let's see, can we, we need two carrots. We need the carrots. Should we deal with carrots right now? Or should we just hang on for a second? Let's hang on for a second. Let's also optimize the hay. So I'm going to copy this, add it to the hay, and making hay is very simple. We just remove the planting. So now, for example, if I hit pause, I can clear to get back to the start and just boom, 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 boom. Now, again, as I told you, optimization, currently something that I don't like is that, look, when we get to the top, I'm going to actually pause it. Look, see how we get to the top, we move right. All right, so we take 1, we take 2, we take 3, and then we go back to the bottom every single time, which I don't really like. I prefer that we get to the top and then we move right, and then we go to the bottom and then we move right and we go to the top. So it should be like a snake pattern. As I told you, for now, this is acceptable. I'm not gonna worry about this too much right now. Later on, we will be expanding it. We are about the 30-minute mark. So before I leave you, let us unlock the carrots as well. All right. And by the way, what is this hint right here? So you're stuck on trying to figure out how to move the drone around the farm. We get the hint, move north, move east, possible solution. Ah, interesting. So they recommended that we use, before we look at carrots, I should look at these more often, might look something like this. Now, I didn't really need, I solved it without, I think, and it works perfectly well without the nested for loops. Do I flip every tile? And well, I don't want to do a flip every tile. It's unnecessary. I don't know, you don't gain anything from flips, but okay, I'll keep this in mind. So as you can see, this is a nested for loop. So I goes through the get world size, which is still 3 at this point. So I starts at 0, and then j, as I is at 0, j goes through 0, 1, 2, and then I becomes 1, and then j goes through 0, 1, 2, and then I becomes 3, and then j goes through 0, 1, 2. So I've kind of solved it without it. If I feel that we need it, we will definitely use it later on. But anyway, let's look at carrots. So before you can plant carrots with plant entity carrot, you have to till the soil. Very nice. So as you can see, a new mechanic opens up. Like, this game is very nice, as like introducing you to how to make different algorithms. So you have to till. This will change the ground to grounds.soil. What? This will change the ground to grounds.soil. To till the soil, simply call till. Calling till again will change it back to grounds.grass. Okay. So now the grounds also have, And by the way, this is called object-oriented programming. I'm not gonna delve deep into that. I don't know if they will. I'm not sure. But anyway, we can upgrade the carrots. We can upgrade, expand the farm. So before we finish off, let's expand the farm. I want to farm carrots. So let's go ahead and create the farm. I don't know if these are correct names. Farm carrot or carrots. Did we say woods? Farm carrots, right? I will copy all of this, paste it right here. So something that's very important is we have to plant the carrot. But before we can plant the carrot, we need to make sure that we till the soil. But also you have to be careful that when you till the soil, it becomes, or when you till the soil, simply called till. If you till it again, it will become grassland, which means you will not be able to plant. So I'm going to check if I can harvest. I will harvest. And I want to plant carrots. But before I can plant the carrots, I need to till. But I need to check if the grounds... Okay. So anyway, what I'll do is, for while true, as I'm going, I don't want to till the soil every single time. Yeah, I don't want to do this all the time. Senses. This is what we need. The operators. Okay. So operators, these are the ands and ors and equal than and less than, all of that, which will allow you to compare two variables. So now we'll be able to check, like, is I greater than j and all of that. This will be very, very important. We can also make complex conditions using ands and ors. So instead of just having a single condition where you check like, oh, if we can harvest, now we can check if we can harvest and we can, for example, do something else. We can also do arithmetics. So now we can add two numbers together, divide them. And the modulo, very important. The modulo gives you the remainder of the division between two numbers. Comparison operators, less than, equal than, logic operators. Oh, the not, also gonna be very important to us later on down the line. Okay, perfect. So I did this because I wanted to unlock the senses. The senses will be super important to us. Why? Because first, it will allow us to get the position of the drone, get position X and get position Y. The start, they are both 0. So this is 0, 0. And as we move east, towards the east, the position Y increases by 1. Oh, and position Y increases by 1 when we go north. So Y gets bigger as we go up. So look at that farm. Working really good. I like that. Anyway, so now we can also check what the entity, so we can get the entity that's right under us and we can get the ground type. And this is what I wanted, because I want to, before I till, I want to check if the get ground type, if it is equal to grounds dot soil, or at least if it's not equal to the ground dot soil, right? Because this is one of the operators that we just unlocked. Let me where are the operators? So right here, this operator, the not, let me show you, where is it? Where is the example? The equal, double equal checks if these two values are equal. So we're checking once we get the ground type, we check if it's not equal. So entity bush not equal to entity bush evaluates to a false. So if it's not equal to soil, right? I'll just keep this here in case you want to check it again. And the senses get entity type and get ground type. So if it's not soil, I'm gonna till. And then I will plant the carrot, because If we have already tilled the ground, which means it is soil, which means we can plant carrots already, so we don't want to till it again because it will take it back to the normal grass. Let's test this out and see if it works. So first things first is I'm going to clear, and I'm going to move the farm wood right here, going to move the farm carrots right here. The farm carrots got a lot bigger. So as you can see, the more things that we unlock, the harder it kind of gets. So let's run. Look at that. How cool is that? So now we just move around until something comes up. Now, this is good. I don't know if we should like maybe wait, because it's kind of like a lot of wasted movements, right? I don't know. In any case, I think we can expand our farm. And boom. How freaking cool is that? Now we have a farm that's 4x4 and it's working very well. I think now the drone will have a lot more things to do. Let me see, can we also upgrade the speed? Okay, we need 30. I will upgrade the speed and we will finish up for today and continue in a separate episode. But as you can see, like, this game is incredible, especially if you want to learn Python coding. Where are we at? Speed. More speed. And I just noticed that we had, look at that. Now we have a very super fast drone. A few things I don't like. The wasted movement. Maybe that is for the best. But I mean, look, like, it hasn't, like, this has been, I don't know. Anyway, looks good. Looks good for now. Later on, we will see how we can use the nested for loops. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Let me just stop the drone right here. Let me save, and I will continue with this later on. But what we've done so far, or what we've learned today, is the first of all, using the functions such as the harvest and the move. We were able to look at functions that return values, not like the harvest or the do flip that actually do things. The can harvest, which returns a boolean value that allows us to check if it's true or false, and based on this true or false, we can either harvest or move or plant or till the soil, you know, so based on certain conditions. So we've looked at functions that do things, we've looked at functions that return values, and we've checked out the while loop, which allows us to do multiple run multiple lines of code or blocks of code based on a certain condition or while a certain condition is true. We've also seen the for loop, which allows us to do a block of code a certain number of times, not based on a condition. And we've also looked at ranges, right? So ranges that allow us to for I in range. Remember, the range starts at 0 and then goes up to, but not including I. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have a lot to go through, a lot of new things to unlock, such as the trees, such as watering, such as debugging, which will help us learn better, such as unlocking variables, upgrading our grass. We still haven't upgraded our grass yet, which is a shame. And we'll have to, I think, at some point. Okay? So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to learn Python properly, the correct way, even though this is an amazing way, but it will not delve deep enough. It's not like as fleshed out as the curriculum that we provide at 2mpython dev. The instructors are extremely extremely professional, very expert. The reviews that we get all the time are amazing. So if you want to support, you can always just like the video, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. And if you're looking to learn Python the correct way, you can contact me on WhatsApp. You can send me an email. All the information is down in the description. And yeah, we are almost out of time. I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.